Right, so welcome back to another episode of Windsor Academy. I'm James, together with my wife Solemnis. We lead the Bad Omen Community Guild here on European Ragnarok Online, and this will be the Crusader guide. Now, the reason we're sitting outside the church here, this is where you rent your bird thing, like the Peko Peko for Crusaders. I just want to show you guys this. I will opt to not use one because, well, I don't really like them. So they're not a must-have. I will be explaining some stats, some skills, and I'll be showing you what the skills can do, what they look like, and applications for them. So let's just get moving first. We're in the top right corner of Frontera, by the way. I'll just give you some info while we're running. This video is going to be on the premises that you have nothing, just like the other ones. Because, well, I mean, if you have super high gear, then, well, it doesn't really matter because you'll end up slaughtering everything anyway. Now I've equipped just some basic stuff that I had laying around. I mean, I have a weapon that doesn't really have any stats, or it's just a random weapon really. No cards, no upgrades, nothing. The rest of the gear is pretty insignificant. We're missing a lot of pieces. There are two main styles you can play. One of them is an agility. Sorry about that, my cat, she's having issues. One of them is using a spear, another one is using a sword. So I'll be showing you both styles. We're gonna go to Orc Dungeon to show you. Now the Crusader is sort of like a holy warrior sort of deal. Like, it's not really a knight, but it's not really a priest either. So we're just gonna go and chill out here for a second. Now, looking at the stats, depending on what way you wanna go. For leveling though, I would suggest, as you can see here, high agility builds and a mix between strength and dex and just a little bit of vitality. The reasoning for this is, like just as I said with the Knight guide, if you watch that, it's basically to take less damage and to hit faster. Now let's just go into the skills here, right? Now there's a lot of them here. Like, most of these are shield spells, except for hello. Right, so you have a Peko Peko master here, right? If you're gonna use a Peko, this is mandatory, okay? I have no idea what this thief is doing. He has a... Right, anyway. If you're using a spear, Spear Quicken and Spear Mastery is definitely mandatory as well. Guard, up to 30% chance of blocking any damage you take for the next hit. Okay. Now, the way that the skill looks is like this. And then if something is trying to hit you, let's just find something. First, let's just get rid of our mercenary. Oh, he expired. Okay, so that's cool. Alright, let's just find a mob. Not sure what this looks like. Now, the problem with this skill, now it's great, but it will immobilize you, okay? If you block an attack, unless you have Endure on, you're gonna have issues moving. If we can actually find a monster, I would happily show you how this works. Here we go. They will be our guinea pigs. Right. So, you don't actually need to face the mobs in order for it to block. Now, we have a high flee here, so there we go. We're taking some damage. We have guard up. I'm gonna show what it looks like when it procs. We have a max level, which means we have like 30% chance whenever they decide to hit us. Let's just bring them with us and let's see if we can... Apparently not. There we go. No, they're hitting us again. But we're not... Okay, let's just get a third one. This should make life a little bit faster. Right. Okay, so when it procs, you should see a little aura, green aura thing. Whenever that is. I am so sorry about this. I kind of thought I had 3 of them on me. Usually that thing will go off like there's no tomorrow. Now it is 30% though, so I mean it's not like it's all the time. Let's just... There, we have it up again now. You know what, I'm just gonna go down... Okay, here's a 4th one. If this doesn't proc it, I don't know what will. I have no comment on this one. There, you see proc, right? Guard, and I'm unable to move for a little bit. But if you cast Endure, like if you have Endure up, you'll be able to move freely even if you proc the guard. Now it's obviously not proccing now just because I have endure up, but yeah, that's basically the idea here. Now I have this at level 5, which is probably why it's even lower proc chance. I feel like level 5 is enough, not just because of the proc chance, but also because you don't have the skills. Like, you just don't have enough points for this. Anyway, so that's guard basically. And when the proc happens, as you can see, you won't take any damage from that hit at all. Doesn't matter how high the hit is. You can even block Sura Strike with it. So, no magic hits though. Faith gives you 2000 extra health at level 10 and 50% holy resistance, I believe, or 40%. Definitely worth getting. Like, the 2000 health is massive. If you're planning to be a Grand Cross Crusader, it's also mandatory, because Grand Cross, we'll get to that, but you will need it basically. Cure, 1 point, it's pretty great. You can cancel out Chaos, Blind from targeted characters, or even Silence. Obviously you can't cancel Silence on yourself by casting a spell, so... But aside from that, it's pretty good, like Blind and Chaos and shit. Holy Cross, this is your like bread and butter single target skill. We have it here on 1, see? Now what it does is it draws a Holy Cross on the target and deals damage accordingly. Now this can be spammed depending on your attack speed, so as you can see it deals quite a bit of damage. I have it a low level, so but yeah, basically at level 10, mine is only level 6, it also has a chance to blind the enemy. Pretty good. And it's a holy attack, so hang on, I'm actually going in and test this on undeads, because I'm fairly certain that if it's a holy property attack, we should be doing extra damage to undeads. Obviously you can play this... No, what on earth is going on? Right, so if this... It seems to be... Well, I'm not sure actually, because it could be just that it does more damage, because they have lower defense. Anyway, so this is the Holy Cross skill. Definitely worth... I mean, as you can see, it's pretty nice. This is tied to your attack speed though. So, if you have really slow attack speed, you can't spam it very fast. But also you have to keep in mind that, I mean, there's an animation and then you're like human with click speed and all that. So, right. Okay, so we'll just kill these and then we're gonna go and talk about the next skill. Right, okay. So, these are all shield skills, obviously. You need a shield to be able to use any of these. Holy Cross, however, does not require you to wear a sword. You can use this with a spear as well. Now, so this is the sword stuff, basically. So I'm gonna be equipping a spear now. Now, we don't have spear quicken, but just to prove my point, I will be, as you can see, it does a lot more damage with the two-hander as well. Now, the two-hander is fire properties, that's why it does more damage, but it's based off your attack damage, and obviously a two-hander has more damage than a one-hander, which is why I'm just gonna put out some int as well. Now, if you plan on spamming a lot of spells, having some int is not a bad idea. Right, so I'm gonna show you Smite. This is another shield spell, just like Guard. So why did I equip a spear? That was... I'm sorry, sometimes I'm just really dumb. Right, okay, so Smite is somewhere on my bar here. Or at least I thought it was. Apparently it wasn't. Right, okay. So let's just put this down here on S. Smite pushes the enemy back and deals damage accordingly. Now, if the enemy can't be pushed back, as you can see, it will... There's no cooldown, you can spam this if you like. It has a chance to stun as well. Now, if things is mobbing you and you just want to get rid of them, you can just basically smite them away and then, you know, leave. Because, whatever, sort of. Right. I'm just gonna kill some stuff here. So, that's the smite skill. Now, shield boomerang is... well, pretty much what it sounds like. It has some range to it, and you can, like, it does, well, I think the damage is dependent on your weight, like your shield weight. There's a formula for it, I don't know the exact formula. But yeah, see here it does 190, and this does 68, and it looks pretty funny when you toss it. It costs 14 SP or 15, that's his smite. No, so shield boomerang. Okay, it does attack damage, shield's weight and upgrade status affect the amount of damage that it deals. Okay, so basically a high refined shield together with a heavy shield, a heavy shield with a lot of refines will make this skill like really good. Or, well, I mean, I can't guarantee it's gonna make it really good, but it's gonna make it better than mine. So, I mean, I guess you could upgrade a shield and try to find a heavy one. I'm just gonna get some SP stuff for the rest of the skills. Man, we need some, let's just get some strawberries, whatever. Alright. Okay, what's next? Right, we have Grand Cross. Now, Grand Cross, as I was talking about before, the Faith. Now, Grand Cross draws a whole. I'm just gonna show what it looks like. So, Grand Cross, it takes absolutely forever to cast unless you have high dex. If you're planning on using a Grand Cross build for AoEing, it doesn't have a cooldown. You should have high dex, you should have int, you should have strength and vitality. You don't need agility for that. Now, since my build is just not optimized for this at all, I believe this skill is interruptible as well. So you would need like a fen or some way of like, you could cast it while they're moving towards you. I'm gonna show you. Now, this will only work if they're really slow. So say that you have all of these chasing you, right? So we start casting it here, so by the time they reach us, well, you get the idea. You might need some timing because they have to be inside when it. Now it hits you as well. Let's just try to cast this while they're here. Yeah. Let's see if they. I think it actually blinds these bastards. I'm not sure because they all seem to be just not in a great place. Okay, now we have all of these on us. Let's try and cast it. Ah, apparently it isn't interruptible. What do you know? We all learn something new every day. Now, this would have dealt significantly more damage. If I had intelligence, because the skill, I only have it level 1 as well, so it's only 140 attack. Summon a cross of holy light on the ground around the caster will damage enemies that come into contact with. Grand cross will cause blind on undeads. Aside from boss monsters, drain 20% of the caster's remaining health and inflict damage after Grand cross is summoned. So, as you can see, it's quite SP heavy. It's like 100 SP at level 10. So, as it turns out, it's not interrupted. Like, you won't get interrupted by. It's a pretty cool skill. Very nice for AoEing. You should max that out then, but if you're going for this build, Faith, like, you need Faith anyway, so it doesn't really matter if I tell you that you should have it. Divine Protection and Demon's Bane, they're required for the healing skill. Now, you can have it. If you're opting for a Grand Cross build with high intelligence, I would definitely get heal. Most definitely. Because it will be of such use for you. Due to the fact that you're gonna have a high heal. You're gonna have a high intelligence, because heal is based off your intelligence. So yeah. There's that. Let's see. So that's a Grand Cross build, basically, with intelligence. You don't need any agility for that, just like vitality, strength, int, and dex for cast time. And int for surviving, obviously. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, there's Shield Reflect. Now this one has been nerfed to all hell. It used to be that Shield Reflect would, like, if you had auto-casting gear on you, the Shield Reflect would, like, use the auto-casting gear. Right. So, I'm just gonna show what this looks like. If you activate Shield Reflect, when something strikes you, they will take a percentage of the damage. Look here. So at level 10, 40% of what they hit you for, they will take as well. As you can see, 14, 11. I only have it at level 2, so it's 16%. Now, this was a lot stronger before. Because, well, whenever something hit you, they would, even if they just took 1 damage, they would cast auto-casting spells that you had equipped on your gear. Granted, this is not a really great way to level anymore, because as you can see, it's not very, well, it will take them a while to die. Right. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to level 2. If we can get there. I'm gonna show you Defending Aura. Now, Defending Aura is the last one in our thingy. As I said, if you're planning on using a Spear, Spear Mastery and Spear Quicken with Agility is a great way to do it. For Grand Crossing, I would definitely recommend a Shield. Because if you're gonna be AoEing or mass tanking a lot of mobs, a shield will make a tremendous difference. So, anyways, we're in Orc Dungeon at the moment, right? Now we have Shield Reflect on, let's just... Oh, we can't turn it off. Alright, clicking it only refreshes the duration. Okay. So there's the build, there are three main builds, right? You have the Grand Cross build that you can level with, you have the Agility Sword build, and then you have basically Spear Quicken build for leveling. Now, what I want to show you is the Defending Aura. Now this one, I only have it level 4, so you should have it level 5 though. We need to find a ranged mob. Now what this does, right, at max level, see what this will hit me for, yeah? If he ever hits me. 200. Now if I put on Defending Aura, all range damage is gonna be reduced. He's shooting me for 100 now. But you're super slow. Now, not all ranged attacks, not all attacks that are ranged are like from an actual archer or whatever. As long as the monster has a good example, right? I believe that okay, this is actually great. He killed it for us. As you can see, with Defending Aura up, I barely take any damage here at all. Now if we turn it off, 246, 272, we turn it back on. I only had level 4, see 96. It's brilliant. It's an absolute beast of skill. Now you move slower, but you can reduce like 80%, and you don't have any penalty. You have movement speed penalty a little bit, but if you only have level 1, you have attack speed penalty as well. Now let's just move into this guy here, and you can toggle it on and off. It doesn't really have a cooldown. It does drain some SP upon use. Sorry, while it's on. There's two more. Now, Sacrifice. This is basically a great skill to have if you play with other people. If you play alone, this is completely useless, okay? What this does is, if you will read it, let's see, by receive all damage intended for the target ally. Sacrifice only work when the level difference between caster is less than 10. So basically, right, if I'm playing with, see, I'm level 72, so anyone who is between level 62 and 82, I can cast Sacrifice on, and it basically means that I will be taking damage instead of them, which can be really good, because if you're really tanky and you have a friend who's like, say, a mage or a hunter or whatever, you can just cast this on them and you will make sure that they stay alive a little bit longer. The last one, Resistant Souls. This cannot be cast on yourself, unfortunately, but you can cast it on a friend. If you're playing two Crusaders together, you can cast this on each other, and it will give you an additional holy property resistance if you're doing Grand Crossing. Otherwise, again, this is a party skill. I wouldn't bother with it unless you're playing in a party. So these two are party skills, both of them, and then you have shield skills here. Shield is definitely fun to play around with. Obviously, all of these you must have a shield to use. Grand Cross does not require a shield, so you can opt out of that if you want to. So yeah, I guess that's that, really. There aren't really that many ways to play this character, at least not to my knowledge. Unless you have super high-end gears, or like gears that give you specific skills and stuff like that. So yeah, that will be the conclusion to this Crusader guide, to be very blunt. So yeah, just some cliff notes here. Grand Cross build with faith, in strength, vitality, dex, party skills, heal should be used. Like, you can get that anyway even if you want, but I would only recommend it for Grand Crossing. Using a shield and a one-handed sword, holy cross, spear, 200 quicken, spear quicken with the 200 spear, and attack the living shit out of stuff with agility and strength and some dex. So that concludes that. You can get these even if you don't plan on using them right now. Some of them are prerequisites for paladins. For Royal Guard later. So once you're a paladin, you should probably revisit and see what you need. Gear-wise, shields, swords, spears. Depending on what build you go, if you go Holy Cross build, you want stuff that gives you SP, HP, stuff that gives you attack damage. Obviously, you don't really need attack speed. And if you're playing an attack speed build, then agility, strength gear. Some vitality is not a bad idea. Luck is completely pointless. So yeah. And I would, as always, a Peko hairband is your friend. It might not look like much, but the movement speed it offers is absolutely amazing. Now it is a cash shop item, so you can opt on using this if you want. And there's also blue pouring bubble, 20 plus flee. Everyone can use it, all stats plus 2. But yeah, so that's it guys. I hope you find this useful, being the second installment of the Windsor Academy. Now there's many more to go. We'll be making one of each class in the order that's been requested by our paid subs. So until next time, have a good one guys, and tell me what you think. I hope this was helpful, yeah? Bye!